Okay, guys, I think that's the time we said we'd start. I think we'll kick off. I think if people join, they can join. That's no problem at all. So my name's Stu Chalmers. I'm Associate Vice President for Sales and Business Development for Winjit South Africa. And I'll explain who we are in a short while in case there's anybody out there who doesn't know who we are. My colleagues Keaton and Imbali will join us shortly and need to talk about a different topic as we go. We're here basically to talk to potentially car dealerships who are now dealing with a new normal, which is requiring perhaps some technology to help drive business and make sure that you can operate in an effective manner. We have put a few solutions together. We work with a few people in the industry, so we've got a pretty good idea of what's going on. So as a business, Winjit, we are there's a way to do my video. Look at that. We're as a business, we have been around for over 15 years. We're a software development business, started in India, and we've been growing steadily ever since. We have 350 plus employees now globally, offices in a few cities in India, Nashik, where our head office is, and Pune and Bangalore and Mumbai. We've got offices in Johannesburg, obviously, where Bali and I are, and then San Francisco and New York as well. So we're quite widespread and delivering solutions to clients in over 50 countries from those different offices. Our core business started as a product engineering business, and where we develop solutions from scratch for clients. And Keaton on the call is the head of that business unit, so he's busy solving problems all the time for different clients, depending on what their requirements are. We moved into app development about 10 years or so ago, and have a strong forte in app development and developing mobile solutions for clients. It says there are over 50 million app downloads, so that speaks to the number of apps and clients that we've helped. We are also developing new products in the Internet of Things space and machine learning. So we're moving into the emerging technology space more and more, and using things like blockchain in our solutions and AI in our solutions. So quite widespread our technological skills. But our competencies, I would say, would fit within these kind of 5 areas. AI and Internet of Things are the two kind of key components. We try and build as much AI and machine learning into our everyday solutions as we possibly can, and wherever they are relevant and how they can help clients, improve their businesses. Blockchain and fintech are key elements of our business processes. We have a specific business unit in our business, in our banking, financial services, and investment sector. Product engineering, as I said, is our core business, where our roots are, and Keaton kind of heads that business up. And digital media for developing enterprise level apps, mobile solutions, that kind of thing. So we're right in that space as well. This may not mean a lot to many of you, but this is a kind of skill set. So across the board, as far as different kind of technologies, and combining different technologies to deliver solutions, we think is obviously the best way, rather than just trying to stick to one kind of skill set. We mix and match and make the best use of as many of these skills as we can. So the problem we're talking about today, I would say, is obviously the pandemic we're in, and we're all virtually. I'm sitting at home here, and we're all bound to our home desks and as much as we can be, and if we're not, then there are limitations to what we can do at work. And I think with the motor trade specifically, there are some limitations. There's some reservations from customers to go into a dealership to interact directly with people, but there is still a requirement for them to. People are still buying vehicles, and one of our clients in the trade is involved in the loan origination side of things, and are seeing an uptick in business in the last month or two. So there are more and more cars being sold and traded, and there is a requirement to book for test drives and services, and are people making that easy for their customers? because most dealerships, I would say, are rely on walk-in trade and not necessarily very well equipped to deal with this new normal that we're finding ourselves in. So with regards to the new normal, we've got 3 different products we wanted to talk to you about: our virtual inquiry manager, our Swift Connect video calling solution, and our WhatsApp-based loan origination. So I'm going to introduce Ketan, who's going to talk to you about our virtual inquiry manager. Ketan, something over to you.
Thank you very much, Stu, and good afternoon, everyone. So I think Stu has rightly said in the previous slide, this pandemic situation and the lockdown situation is really transforming all set of business like worldwide. Of course, like the dealership and the vehicle motor domain is not exception for that. So considering in that mind, like we have got a solution called Virtual Inquiry Manager. So in very layman term, like whenever a customer want to contact to a dealership, so of course like traditionally like there are different modes, like they can contact through phone, like they can connect with some website. Of course, there a lot of omni channels are there through which customer can connect. So we thought like because of this pandemic situation, like customers are at the home, why can't we create an inquiry manager where customers can be sitting at the home and they can book their test drive, like they can inquire for a new vehicle, they can expect the vehicle make and model on the phone or on the website only. So it is as simple as that, like generating your business while the customer will not visit your dealership, but they can also do it from their home wherever they are into the world. So of course, like the flow is pretty simple and standard. Like there are 2 channels like we already developed. One is WhatsApp based. We'll also discuss that in detail. And one is chatbot. So chatbot is very simple. Like it's a chatting and a conversational mechanism in an existing website or in a new application. So through which like what a customer will do, like that customer will send any type of request through WhatsApp and chatbot. Of course, like it is with respect to the customer, what information they need to collect. We also like take care of the copy compliance and all the regulation, like what sort of information we should collect, and we have got frameworks in place for to safeguard that. And it will integrate either with the existing dealership system, that support we also have. And suppose if the dealership doesn't have a system, we also provide a backend system, a CMS system to them. So of course, like 3 use cases we generally feel is like details of the current product, what is the finance and insurance detail, and we get the response and lead capture. So yes, to like you can go to the next slide. So again, while going through a feature list, like I personally like working very closely with the South African market. So one trend is really coming up there. Like there are a lot of inquiries for trade-in cars. So let's say people are very much feeling safe, like going into their car or anything, like if they want to visit a grocery shop or office. So it is a very good fit for those kind of use cases. Now coming back to the features, so of course, like it is a effective lead generation. You don't need like the customer will visit the dealership; they can apply it from anywhere. We can also do virtual tour of the car. So here we can implement like a 2-dimensional augmented reality where we can do absolute tour of the car from external as well as internal. Of course, like we can include the photos and like what is that car, what is the make, and all the vehicle identification details we can do on that channel. Then once that is done, suppose like customer is happy and like he or she is showing the interest, we can of course schedule a appointment with the customer. We can also facilitate like to do a let's say home delivery of the car. So that is also possible from here. And of course, as I said, like you can also integrate with the third party app. Now third party app means you can have an integration with the financial institution, banks, and any software which you are currently working. And of course, like there is also demand, like people also say like we can also use roadside assistant support through a virtual inquiry manager. So suppose if they are stuck with accident or they are facing some issue, they can also utilize it. So these are like the key features we drafted, but it can be as customized as per the dealership and as per the requirement. Yes, to go ahead. Yeah. Here, like again, you can see like a simple interface of the WhatsApp. Now again, on the WhatsApp bit and the Wablo bits too will speak in detail, but just at the higher side, higher level side, WhatsApp has been accepted and utilized by like most of the people in the world. So it is very easy for the acceptance of the people if you do something with WhatsApp, and the turnaround timing is very quick. So let's say if a lead is generated, we can capture in backend and we can close the sale. So that is the value addition of WhatsApp. So of course, to touch base some of the benefit, we can do 24/7 sales agent. We can definitely assist with like the current sales, like without talent acquisition and training costs. So we can rely at least on a basic things for a lead generation. We can have like one-stop solution like for all the product detail and related query. So now here product could be varied as per the dealership. It can be insurance product, non-insurance product, and VAP and all those stuff. As again, it is very much customizable. When we say auto database entry, so whatever we are communicating, either it will be stored in your current environment in a current backend, or we can also create a new backend for you from scratch. And as I said, like it is a multi-point integration. So we are not only restricted with one platform. You can have a seamless integration with other payment provider and e-commerce engines, and of course the banks. Yes, too. So here, like we discuss about like WhatsApp could be one of the channel through which we can generate, let's say, inquiry, virtual inquiry. But like WhatsApp, there is also one more way, like where we can integrate a chatbot within your existing dealership website. So let's say because your website is already recognized by your customer, so there is a good chance like they will visit your website and they will say, okay, what are the new offers? And of course, whatever inquiries they are having, they can book from a chatbot as well, and it will have a same workflow or a same way of mechanism. Like it will connect with the backend, it will generate a lead and generate a response. So you can see here like it is a conversational bot where like there are three actionable options. We can see like request more info, I want to schedule a test drive, I want some more financial information. Here we can also embed videos. We can also embed like a live video here so that you can see a vehicle on a call and you can get the details. Just to go ahead. This is like just a backend screen. Means again, user don't have to worry about it. But because I know the audience here is from the dealership, so they want to know, okay, how can I pull my analytics? What is my effectiveness of implementing virtual inquiry manager? So yeah. So here, like you can see some data points here, like how many leads I have captured. We can like prioritize or bucket wise that lead as per how many for roadside assistant, how many for annual maintenance. And these categories can be as granular as per the requirement. And so you can draw. So this is a simple view, but this can be customizable to a complete campaign management. So suppose if you got let's say 4 hot leads and you want to allocate it to your star salesperson from here, that customization also we can do here. So this is the screen Winjit can also provide. And because the entire architecture is API enabled architecture, we can also integrate your existing dealership management system. So that is also possible. So yes, so I think that's everything from my side for when. I will just hand it over to Mavali. Thank you very much.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so sorry, I forgot to unmute myself. Thank you very much for this opportunity and thank you very much for attending. The second solution that we'll be looking at is Swift Connect. As my colleague Ketan has actually mentioned, that the dealership solution is interconnected with a video solution. So Swift Connect is a high quality video collaboration system that allows you to collaborate with participants internally within your organizations, participants that are outside your organizations. It can actually help with you know, what do we call this, viewing of vehicles. You can actually then interlink it with your Outlook. You can interlink it with WhatsApp, so you can have WhatsApp video calls as well integrated into the solution. You can move on to the second solution, second slide. Okay, all right. So basically, it is a hosted and on-premise hosted solution that you know, you actually pay a once-off fee, so there's no monthly you know, fees that you have to pay for the solution. The features actually are the same as, you know, the key players in the video conferencing space. It's actually compatible to all your devices. You can connect on your mobile phone, you can connect on your you know, iOS devices. it does give you an audit log in terms of, you know, the calls that you've had, and the calls are actually secured. So there is no issue there in terms of, you know, the calls being interjected or, you know, something else coming through that is unwelcome. You are very much able to do everything else that you can do on Major Solutions. You're able to share screens. You can have a digital walkthrough with your customers. You can actually connect with people from different locations. If we can actually move on to the next screen. As I said, that there are no installation or sign-up fees. It's a once-off, you know, fee that you actually pay. Security. It is definitely a private session where no one can actually interject. You can actually use it for various things. You can actually use it for digital onboarding. You can actually use it you know, for remote demos, you know, for people who want to test drive a car and actually can't reach your offices. You can actually make sure that you show all the facility, all the capabilities of the car that they're interested in. All of this can be done via video. You can actually use it for, you know, for customer support. Should the customer be actually having any issues with the car at that particular moment, you can actually get into a video call and actually see what the problem might be. The system is quite simple, and you know, the usage is actually just seamless. You can then customize your workflow in terms of how do you want it to actually flow. Can we move on to the next screen? Next screen. Okay. This is the audit trail I was actually talking about in terms of the meeting that you've actually held. So you're able to actually have that audit trail in terms of which meetings you've held, how many participants were there, you know, and how long the call was. You can actually have the recording. So basically you've got all that, and you can actually save that. Like I said, it's actually very reliable in terms of, you know, scalability as well. You can have a bigger numbers in terms of, you know, the participants. You can actually also, you know, integrate it to other solutions as well. Can we move on to the next slide? Okay. Simplicity, as I mentioned, it's quite easy to set up your meetings. You go to the create meeting button. You can actually, you know, customize your meeting name. You will be able to choose whether you want to record the meeting or not. You actually also select the number of participants. They can be internally, they can be externally. You create a meeting. It's as simple as ABC. That meeting has been created. Can you just move to the next slide? Okay. Right. This is the sharing of screens, you know, capability. You're able to share different screens. You're able to share windows. You're able to actually, you know, share between different screens and, you know, present different solution to your client. So whilst you're doing a test drive, you can actually also be doing an application, and all the information that you're requesting from the client, they can actually give you. So you can navigate between those two screens, and, you know, the process will actually be narrowed down. If we can actually move on to the next screen.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Mbali.
Okay, I think I'm done. Thank you very much.
So over to me. I'll finish off with the kind of final product that we're talking about today. We've given it the catchy term of WABLO, so WhatsApp-based loan origination. So we find it's a very, you know, it's obviously you know, the final process in a sale of the vehicle is to make sure that the person has the finances to do that. And it can be a time-consuming and irritating process. So we're trying to make it as simple as possible. You know, to give the customers the opportunity to do it at any time, any place that suits them. Obviously, it integrates with any kind of existing back-end loan. So if you have a loan origination system in place already, you know, we can integrate with that to make sure that it's following the processes required there. We could do things like check the eligibility of documents, upload documents, use our smart OCR, so optical character recognition, to pull specific information from the documents that are taken. So the client can literally take photos of their payslip and their driver's license and proof of residence, and our system can read those documents and pre-populate the loan application with the relevant information. And obviously then the customer can get feedback, and also we can get feedback from the customer saying, okay, we asked you yesterday for a payslip. We can push back a WhatsApp message saying, can you help us? We're still waiting for that kind of documentation. So it's a real nice two-way kind of flow. The beauty of it is, as it says at the bottom, 50% of consumers already have WhatsApp installed. So in the South African market, that's a huge proportion of people who already have the technology to be able to communicate in this mechanism. And they like to do it. They do it every day. They send pictures to friends and family. They're reading, images and documents on the device already. So it is something people are used to using. So it makes sense to, I always say, fish where the fish are. This is where the people are already. Don't insist that they download another application. Let them utilize something that they already have. And the flow is very simple. We would, suggest that you guys publicize a number, and getting a WhatsApp number is a kind of separate process, which we can assist you on if you have that requirement. But there's a WhatsApp for business specific type of number that you would need to get. Then you publicize that. You can do simple things like QR codes or web links for people to be able to open up and start a conversation very easily. Client tells you how much they require. I can run you through a small kind of example of that, how that would work. And then we tell them what information is required, the T's and C's according to that. Any documents that they might have to send to us, they just simply take a picture of it with their phone and send it through. We read that using our OCR, as I mentioned. And the beauty of it as well is it can take time. It doesn't have to happen in one session. The client can just choose to, I need to find a particular document, or I need to go through something. They can take their time, and the WhatsApp chatbot will wait for them to find that relevant information. And obviously this is the key. It's anytime, anywhere. People actually prefer to text over being on the phone. Sometimes they feel that they're being pushed into something, or there's some issue. So they would rather actually deal by text. And I like the fact that it's engaging and more natural. It kind of draws the customer along a particular journey and makes sure that they follow the process, and the chat can actually guide them along that journey. So, that's a real great process. So as far as a kind of sample journey was concerned, we built this on our own WhatsApp number. So you, as I said, would publicize a number that then people can engage directly with you and start a journey with you. So in this journey, we say, hi, Wiblow, and that starts the journey. It says, what are you looking to do? You want to take out a loan, or is there some sort of customer service aspect? So I decided to go for a loan, and then indicate what type of car that I'm looking to buy. And obviously this is completely configurable, whatever options you have. It doesn't have to be a purchase of a car. It could be trade-in. It could be a car rental process. It could be any kind of process. It's just giving you an idea of the journeys that you can undertake. So in this instance, we've said, okay, we want to purchase a vehicle that's priced at 300,000, and the loan would be for 240. We're assuming some kind of trade-in value, and what is the term period, okay? So in this instance, the loan origination engine will come back with an offer. Now at this point, we don't know who the person is. They've just applied for a loan. They've given us the value. We've said to them, this is how much we can lend you, and this is the interest rate. Then at this point, they can decide to proceed yes or no. So then we go through the process of saying, okay, I need some documentation. So perhaps the person would share a driver's license or ID or pay slips, that kind of thing. And as I said, the chatbot will guide them through that process. Then, everything is required. Everything's in place. Great. We're happy. The loan has been verified. It's approval. It's system using your existing backend process. And in this instance, we've also provided a loan application or a document that's been produced as a PDF and sent to the customer via WhatsApp, giving the details of the loan and their details and that kind of thing. So it takes out the need for necessarily having a person involved in the process. If everything goes to plan, which we hope, more than half of the loan applications would be, they literally do everything via the WhatsApp chatbot, and then they end up having their loan. And the first thing you hear about it is when they've actually said, okay, I'm here to pick up my vehicle. And that's for you a great option. And obviously there are options to jump out of the loan, out of the bot if there's an issue. But, from our perspective, that most of the issues would be dealt with on on the basis that the WhatsApp chatbot would do all that kind of thing. So I guess from our perspective, if there's any queries or questions, we're happy to take any questions from anybody. If you want to unmute yourself and ask, or if you want to ask any questions. Just to remind you as well that next week we'll be doing another webinar on UX design to grow your business. So the importance of UX and UI and design of your sites and your engagements with customers, how that will help grow your business. But if there's any questions, happy to take some. Do we have anything? Okay, are there no queries or questions? Okay, guys. Yeah.
This is Dion here from Agile Bridge. Just maybe one quick question on your WhatsApp integration.
Yes, sir.
Is that something that you guys do directly, or do you need service providers or somebody else involved, or is it something that Winjit does directly?
So we can offer WhatsApp. It's not, we don't do it directly. There are a certain limited amount of service providers that offer the WhatsApp. Are you talking about the WhatsApp number, Dion, specifically?
Yeah, the integration of current applications into WhatsApp, or if we want to make use of that service that you showed.
Yeah, so yeah, we can undertake the entire process. So we can help provide the number. As I say, we can't do it directly, but we do indirectly. We can do all the billing and set you up with a number yourself, and then integrate directly with that number and with the service provider into your back-end system. So if you wanted to integrate with any existing systems, financial systems, access control, whatever it happens to be, place calendar entries, that kind of thing. We can do that whole process, from start to finish. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks for the answer.
All right, yeah, thank you. Okay, guys, look, thanks very much for your time. If there's no other queries, we'll leave it there. We really appreciate your attention. If you want to get hold of us, you've had some sort of invitation, but there are a few numbers there and a QR code you can scan to WhatsApp me. So great to have you all on board, and let us know if we can be of any assistance.